So join me on your mat. Let's start in our downward facing dog. Press fully into the hands. Bring the right leg high, take an inhale, and then your right knee drops behind your right wrist. Move your left leg back behind you, toes point straight back. So you can stay here if this is really intense for you. If it's way too much for you in your right knee, if your right knee hurts, you could drop to your right hip and bring the left knee in. Otherwise, try to get the weight in the center of the hips. You also have the option of having a block underneath your right hand or your right hip. You can reach back and take the left hand for the inside of the left foot, pulling it in, getting that quad stretch, or kicking it back, maybe lifting the front arm. Or you can come down to rest. Coming down to the elbows, elbows wide to soften the shoulders and rest your forehead. Close your eyes, breathe here. You can stay here as long as you'd like, as long as there's not any physical pain. You might have emotional pain, right, of things coming up. You might have discomfort. We are okay with discomfort, right? There's a lot of growth in discomfort. So allow yourself to sit in the discomfort, breathe through it, really focusing on the breath to get through it. But again, if you feel like there's something wrong, modify, find what works better for you. From our half pigeon, drop into your right hip. And then we're gonna take the back leg, wrap it all the way around, and try to put the weight back into the left side of the body. So I'm gonna face you now with opposite leg, so it's mirroring you. And you're gonna have your left fingertips go behind you, bring your right arm high, and twist over the left shoulder. Use your right elbow as leverage. For a moment, sit tall on the inhale. Use the exhale to twist. And then let's slowly roll our head around here. Slowly roll it around. Both directions. Release your jaw. Release through the eyes and eyebrows. Now gaze over the opposite shoulder. Bring your right hand down. Really anchor that left side of your body down towards the ground, taking your left arm over and then lean to the side here. So you don't want this left side of the body coming up. Keep pulling it down, reach over, let your head even drop so you feel that stretch from the neck down behind your shoulder into the outer left hip, and breathe. And then we'll go ahead and come back up. Bring both legs out in front of you. As you lay back and down, use your core. Touch your fingertips to your heels. Lift your hips up. Reach your arms over your head. Inhale. Exhale. Drop your hips in your hands. 2 more times. Inhale. Lift up. Exhale. Drop back and down. 1 more time. Inhale. Exhale, drop it back and down. Crisscross your ankles, rock and roll. You can always move your feet to the side and step back into downward facing dog. So if you'd like to try that, feet to the side, step back, or you can rock and roll to your high plank, to down dog, and then we'll go tabletop to down dog. Bring your left leg high, inhale. Bring your left knee behind your left wrist. Move your right knee further back. Either stay here, you can grab for your back foot with the right hand to the right foot, or you can come down to the ground. Elbows wide, stack your palms, rest your forehead. Breathe into all that tension. Breathe into those areas that you're opening up. So we're opening up the outer left hip and glutes. So if you're feeling a lot of tension there, just be patient with your body. Be kind, right? There's no reason for you to be anywhere else. Everything's right on time for you. Just trust it. What's meant for you will be there for you. So let's rest into this pose for a few more breaths. The more that you can relax into the exhales, the better. The inhales, we're like gathering up all that tension, and the exhales, you're releasing it. Go ahead and press back up into your hands. Drop into your left hip and take your right leg and wrap it around. So again, I'll face you, so I'll be your mirror. So it's okay if you're sitting on your left foot a little bit, but if you can, make sure you're not leaning all the way over to your left. Pull that right hip back and down. If any knee issues going on, you can have the bottom leg straight and you're still doing the same thing. It just takes some of that pressure out of the knee. So it just depends on the day. Every practice is going to be so different. Right fingertips behind you, left arm high, take an inhale. Exhale, twist with all that length in your spine. Sit tall and then twist over the right shoulder. Then same thing here, roll your head around nice and slow. Both directions. Releasing any tension that's built up, even if you just let it go for today. Right? Because every day is going to be stressful, and every day we got to let go of that stress. Excuse me. Even let the tongue fall off of the roof of the mouth, right? We may not even be aware because being stressed out is so normalized now. I mean, it's just part of life. And so bring awareness into the little details of the moment. Where can you let go a little more? Where can you allow yourself to let go of that armor that you have, that guard that you've built up around yourself? Can you soften that just a little bit? Even if it's just for this class and just for the rest of the day or whatever it is, give yourself the opportunity, that freedom from that stress in your body, right? Because otherwise it's going to manifest into other things that we don't want if we don't handle it. Go ahead and bring your left hand down. As you're anchoring that right side of your body, bring your right hand down and lean over. Let your head drop and breathe here. You don't have to go very deep to feel this, right? Again, like physically going deeper in a pose doesn't mean there's more yoga. So just allow yourself to breathe where you feel it, because that's where your pose is happening. Breathe into the sensation, making that mind to muscle connection. Now, as you come back up, let's bring the legs back out in front of us. Lay back and down, nice and slow. Now this time for bridge, make sure you can touch your heels with your fingertips so your knees are over your ankles. Your feet are just hip distance, which is 2 of your fists together. That is how big your hip distance is, because that, if you bring it down, that's your actual hip bone distance, not your outer hips, because that can get a lot bigger, right? We're just talking about our bone structure, our skeleton. That's how wide you want the feet, toes pointing straight forward. Lift the hips up. Starting to squeeze the glutes on the way up. And now shimmy the shoulders together, interlacing your hands or hands down by your side. And then relax the glutes a little bit once you get all the way up. You can also put a block in between the legs and squeeze that block a little bit. Breathe here, just a couple more breaths. Now slowly release the arms and rock the legs like windshield wipers to the left and the right. And bring the knees in. Feet wide, grabbing the outside of the feet, pull straight back and down. You could hold happy baby with the legs bent or straight. I like to take my peace fingers and grab the big toes. You can wiggle your leg out and then the other. Keep pulling the tailbone down, shoulders and your head down. And then give yourself one more big squeeze in. And then we'll find our corpse pose or our final resting pose, final Shavasana.